right, next game up, we're going to have PME versus Street Fam. PME is coming in beating DG, and Street Fam coming in off of beating UTF. One thing I'm going to say about this Street Fam team is their defense is something to be reckoned with. This defense gives up only 11.6 points a game. That's second in the league. And their efficiency, their defense efficiency, they're giving up. Teams are only scoring 27% of the time, 27.7% of the time. Teams step on the field, they score against this team. So this is a very elite defense led by the defensive captain, B-Roy. Then you got a guy who's been in won championships in this league named Jay. Herbie coming out of retirement, playing with this team, adding on with Shaw. This defense is something, Milo at the giver position, the defense is something to be reckoned with. Now, they lost Shannon until possibly the playoffs, which is a huge impact here. But this team's defense can carry them. Now, the situation is on the offense, when you got Lou who came in, you see him beat UTF, he brung Bo. Bo's been playing great. This team has only depended offensively on Bo, and teams are starting to pick that up. Until Lou gets a secondary weapon, maybe has to be Shy, that's going to be their Achilles heel, the fact that the offense only have one go-to player. But first, tell me about that defense.
I mean, they have a lot of playmakers on that defensive end. And you also have to mention, they also have Prodigy, who's also always the guy that you always say is right at the cusp of being good, of being an all-star, but sometimes falls off. So you have a lot of players on this team that can make things happen on defense. And that's why they've been so successful this season. And surprisingly so, because they catch a lot of teams off guard. But their offense has been the problem that they've had throughout the season. They struggled to score. Lou kind of changed that with their game with their game 3 against UTF, was able to score at least 3 touchdowns. And they're gonna need him to continue that trend if they're going to be competitive moving forward. Because just having a solid defense is not going to be enough. You have to put up points in this league in order to compete. And hopefully Lou and Bo, they brought Ant to their in this game, so he'll be playing. So as long as Lou is able to bring that to this team that they were struggling with before, I think they'll be just fine. But this is a test to them because they're playing against one of the most efficient teams in the league in PME.
And talking about PME, PME is the best team in the league.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Monarchs, but PME is the best team in the league. Right now, when I look at it, PME's offensive efficiency, 62.5%. Every time they step on the field, their offense has a 62.5% chance of scoring. They are scoring 24 points a game, which is second best. Only team that scores more than them is Monarchs, but they're more efficient than the Monarchs. Defensive side of the ball, their defense is only giving up 13 points a game, which is third in the league. Only Street Fam and Rep City has a better defense. And their defensive efficiency, teams are only scoring 33.3% of the time when they step on the field. This team is an all-around great team led by their starting quarterback, Rel, who won't be here today, but led by him. 10 touchdowns, I believe, 1 interception. Hopefully I'm right. I'm just, throwing up the head. It'll be on the screen to see if I'm accurate or not. But the main thing is the draft pick they made. Swiss, great pickup. He's done exactly what they needed him to do. He's brought the pressure on at the linebacker position. He already has an interception. So he's definitely shown Doughboy to being a genius. And then you add on the other guys he got on his team with Chad, Jay, Nico. Their main guy, Jaquan. This team is very dangerous. Shane, Nico, what can you say about this team? Dre, and they'll even have their 3rd round pick, Mo, here. So they have all the players here. Again, they're missing their quarterback, but this team is the best team in the league, and you can't say nothing against Doughboy, who looked like the captain of the year. Remember, the captain is also the team that built them. So it's a coach / captain. The guy who put this team together. We seen Rico win it a few years back for the team he put together. Doughboy has a real shot at winning this based on the team he put together. They can keep this first place record.
And the thing about that is, this is like I said before. This team knows how to win, and they're gonna see if they can do that with their active quarterback today, taking the place of Rel for this game, and Sean. They bring him in, a quarterback that probably I don't remember him playing in this league before. So hopefully,
he played before.
Yes. So hopefully they're able to help him, acclimate into the play. Because Street Fam, regardless of what you could say about their offense, they may not be as consistent as others, but their defense really plays well. So they got to get him into the vibe of the game so that he doesn't make so many mistakes. And we'll just have to wait and see if they're able to do that.
All right, we're going to jump right into the game. Lou gets the ball, second down. He's blitzed by Swiss, who's blocked by Spaz. Lou's throw deep to Bo in the middle. Bo runs away from the ball, picked off by Nico, giving it right to PME. Now, PME's secondary has also been very dangerous. They make turnovers and force you to make mistakes. Now, Swiss coming in with the pressure. Great blocking by Spaz, but Lou definitely sails his pass and gets picked off by Nico. That is a big mistake by Lou starting off the game. That's not a way you want to start off, and that's a huge interception.
And that was just bad communication right there. Lou believed that Bo was running towards the side, cutting across the field, but Bo was actually making a route to cut back outside. So because they miscommunicated, Bo's already running back outside as the ball's sailing the opposite way. And because of that, the only person that was there to catch the ball was Nico. So unfortunately, that miscommunication there led to their first their interception. Their first drive ends up becoming an interception, and it's a waste of opportunity there.
After getting the first down, Sean throws to Andrew on the sideline for a nice game, picking up the first down, putting him to the 5-yard line. Third and goal, Sean rolls right, throws him more in the gap, knocked away by Herbie. 3 years ago, Herbie picks that off. Fourth and goal, Sean finds Rizzo in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. 6-0. This guy, I think he's a rookie, able to score on his first drive. Great play by them. Doughboy continues to look like a genius.
And the thing about it is, when you have the stacked team that they have, so many weapons that they have, it's not that hard. As long as you give this quarterback time, he's going to find a way to get into the end zone. It looks like he's able to do that quite easily here. This guy, Andrew, big play that got them into scoring position. And it seems like that's going to be one of the targets that Sean finds in this game, because right away you hear his name called, and that is a great way to get their first score so far.
After getting the first down, Lou with blocker from Spaz, rolls right, throws the ball in the middle, tipped by Chad, picked off by Swiss, who runs it all the way into the end zone for the touchdown. 12-0 PME. If you look here, Lou never goes to Brandon, who's open on the sideline. Once again, Lou is looking for Bo. That is his main guy, but this defense knows it. And Chad, who's definitely a great defender, won a championship with that ILD team, is able to get a tip. And who did he tip it to? His former teammate on ILD who won a championship with him, Swiss. And Swiss takes us to the house for a touchdown. Swiss has 2 sacks, 2 interceptions, with a pick 6. He is looking like a defensive player of the year, and we're still only 4 weeks in. Definitely great play by Swiss there.
And this is one thing I gotta say. Like you said, that's a definite point that I agree with, that these teams are already noticing who Lou is looking for. He's looking for Bo right away. And if you look, he's under pressure. Yes, Spaz is blocking, but the fact that Lou has to roll out shows that the pressure is still coming in. So Spaz can't hold the rush for too long, and Lou is trying to make a play. Unfortunately, does not see Brand on the sideline. Receiver that had a big day the last time that they played against UTF. Doesn't see him here. Unfortunately, forced that pass the ball, and the defense able to be there for the play, and Swiss gets the interception and the pick 6 in the end.
4 out. Lou gets the ball. 2 short passes for a decent game. 4th down at the 20. Lou on 4 rush, throws a shot in front of the end zone. Tipped him, knocked away by Mo. Turnover on downs.
And this is not looking good for the Street Fam team. It went from them being very successful against that UTF defense to them not being able to get anything done against this PME defense. I would say, fair to say that there's a better defense than UTF's defense. So it's an uphill battle for Lou, and it looks like he's still struggling to climb that hill right now.
Third half, the incomplete pass. Sean is blitzed by B-Roy, blocked by Will. Sean throws the knives in the gap for a decent game. Sean then throws to Andrew in the middle for a decent game, picking up the first down, and comes back to him again in the gap, makes a nice catch getting to the 7-yard line. Where does Doughboy find all this talent? The guy is finding talent under the garbage can, on top of the roof, the guy making the sandwiches in the store. The guy just finds talent, and he puts them on the field to give this team more weapons. You know what I call this? Like they say, champagne problems. Last play before half, on fourth and goal. Sean throws it up the Swiss in the front of the end zone high, incomplete, taking us into the half, 12-0 PME.
Right now, even though they only scored twice, once by the defense, they're looking good. The quarterback steps in and is able to not make too many mistakes. He's moving the ball. He didn't score on the last drive, but it's still promising. And as long as they look this way and they keep their defense playing the way they do, keeping Lou off balance, I think they have a good chance of winning this game in the second half.
I'm Street fan. We got to know everybody got the memo. Everybody knows you got to watch Bo. Lou does not like to run. It's not a running quarterback. So you got to stop Bo. If you know where Bo is at, you have a lot of opportunity to make plays. And Street Fam needs another blocker. Spaz blocks, but that's not what Spaz do. If you're going to move Spaz from quarterback to tight end, he needs to be moving on the field. This team must go out and find another blocker. Have to add a blocker. That is an issue. They had Manny. Manny leaves because of whatever issue. I don't understand why, because he goes to PME where he's not going to get any playing time because Baby's their main was their main blocker. So I don't know why he would leave and not just suck up whatever issue he had with the other guys on Street Fam, because now he's not going to play. But at the end of the day, that hurts Street Fam because now they need a blocker. And if you don't give Luke time, pick sixes was going to happen, and we seen him throw that early in the game. Second half, Sean gets the ball for PME. He's going to get blitzed by B-Roll, who's blocked by Swiss. Sean throws deep to Nico, who beats Bo in the gap for a nice game, picking up the first time at the 3-yard line. Sean can sling the ball downfield. That is a great play. And look, Swiss is picking up B-Roy. Swiss got to be up there for the Johnny Rockstar Award, too. He's doing it on offense. He's doing it on defense. He's on special. The guy is doing whatever needed to be done. Gives them time here, and they're able to go down through to Nico, who kind of gets lost in the shuffle of the rest of these weapons, but he's capable of making plays. Big play by him there. Second and goal. Sean finds Nico in the front of the end zone for the touchdown. Mo gets ejected for cursing because Herbie kind of baited him on that. But it doesn't matter. 18-0. Gimme.
Now, I'm going to say two things. First of all, the fact that Sean is not only using Andrew, but he's using Nico now to make some big plays in this game. That just shows that when a quarterback gets comfortable with specific guys, that's when you see them making more, producing more. So it's not that they don't have the talent, but all it takes is for a quarterback to vibe with that receiver, and they're going to produce a lot more. And that's exactly what's happening here. But in the Mo side, Mo has still gotten kind of, you know how it say when a pirate has to get their sea legs back? This is what's happening with Mo. He hasn't been playing in a long time, so he's been off. You know, he dropped a couple of passes in this game, so he's a little frustrated. And Herbie, of course, used that against him to kind of egg him on to cursing, gets him out of the game early. Hopefully, Mo's able to attend more games and get his get his vibe back into the game. But unfortunately for Street Fan, none of this matters because they're still not able to stop this PME offense.
Lou gets the ball back, and with blocking by Ant, throws to Andy in the middle for a decent game. Third down, Lou throws to Ant in the gap with contact from Mace. The ball is dropped. We forgot all about Mace. Mace is on this PME team, and he's capable of making plays. The rich get richer. Great hit by Mace. Fourth down, Lou on 4 rush, throws to Brandon in the back of the end zone. Drop, turnover on downs. They're not able to put up points. Brandon got to make this catch.
Yeah.
He's another guy that Lou likes to go to. He's getting comfortable with him, but you can't do this to him. Big drop, turning over the ball. 3rd and long. After 2 incomplete passes, Sean is blitzed by B-Roy, who's blocked by Mace. Sean is then able to get past Prodigy and run on the sideline for a nice game. Sean got wheels. Well, it's not running like that. This is a nice backup. We've seen Doughboy do this before with Chris, who was backing up well. He always finds a way to get a backup that can start for several teams in this league. 4th down at the 40. Sean throws to Andrew, cutting in the gap for a decent gain and the 1st down. 2nd down, Sean throws the 9s on the sideline, getting them to the 25-yard line. 3rd down, Sean throws to Andrew on the sideline, who makes a nice catch at the 5-yard line. The question was, did he stay in bounds? What do you think of the play?
And I think that if this play would have been challenged in the playoffs, I think this probably would have went the other way, because it looks like as he jumps for the ball, he just leaves his feet as he sails out of bounds. He gets the catch. The catch is made, but it doesn't look like his foot stays in bounds. The feet lifts right before he lands out of bounds. So unfortunately for the opposing team, it still counts, but this is something you would definitely challenge in the playoffs.
4th and goal. Sean finds A-Hot in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. PME comes away with the win, 24-zip PME.
And this, it's crazy that I can say that a backup quarterback for PME was able to score, I believe 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
3 touchdowns. That's not too shabby, because that's not actually around their average. 3 touchdowns per game. That's what they score. Yep. And this quarterback is able to step in his debut in the UFL and able to do just that. That's impressive.
Yep.
But then again, with the star-studded cast that he has on offense, I'm hard-pressed for him not to be able to do that. Not to take anything away from him, but it's good that he's able to use these guys efficiently enough to get into the end zone as consistently as he did. Overall, good win. The defense played well. They were able to lock down Lou and keep him from getting his balance later in the game. They never made him feel comfortable. And that is the way a defense should play. Overall, a good win for PME.
Street Fam's in trouble. And I put this on the doorstep of Prodigy and Spaz. They wanted to play in the league. They felt that they could compete in the league. And now they're 1-3. They didn't go out and get the manpower they really needed, the playmakers that they really needed, and it's becoming an issue. Now, am I saying this team has no chance? Absolutely not. They just beat the defending champs last week with Jeremy throwing. So this team definitely has a shot, but they got to decide what identity they want. I see Lou Brung and I like that. They need another defender. Jigga needs to play, and they have to make Jigga available, or else they're going to lose the opportunity to put him on a roster. Remember, you have to make 3 games if you're exempt, 4 games if you're playing regular. You only have 2 exempt spots. There are 4 games left in the season, which is half. Mm-hmm. If you're going to add people, add them now. Now, if they played on another team already, you can't bring them in because they're locked in unless they get traded if the team played 3 games with that team. At the end of the day, you need another blocker. You need another defender. Because if you get Jigga could play the middle with B-Roy, and you could slide Jay to the outside. Keep Herbie at the safety. I think you could put Boy at the Shy at the safety. You could put Boy on the other corner. Prodigy at the giver, or move Boy Prodigy to the corner. You can make this defense a lot better. And I didn't count Shy and all these guys. You can make this team elite. They need to bring a few more grind time guys. Listen, I don't know if you want to call it grind fam or street time. You need help. And you still have an opportunity to upset a lot of teams. Let me tell you something. When you run a team and you got B-Roy making a sacrifice, showing up to the games, Jay making a sacrifice, playing in the games, Herbie coming out of retirement to play with you, Shannon on the sideline injured watching, you have to assess the situation and bring in more people. I don't know if you're going to talk to Shannon and say, yo, bring some 99 guys. It doesn't matter. You got to pick up some firepower. It's not all about saying this is our team, because it's not just you. It's overall. Now, I respect Spaz because he stepped down and let Lou come in to throw. I respect that. But they need another guy to block for Spaz to go out. Spaz can be a weapon at the tight end position. He's a weapon. And then with him in the middle, and you got Shy and Bo opening up the field, you got Prodigy and Spaz that could work the inside of the field. But you got to make these additions if you want to be taken seriously. You can catch a lot of teams off guards if you make those simple upgrades. You can. Yeah. It's not difficult. You already beat the defending champs. It's on you to sit down and say, what do we need? B-Roy's nephew, bring him in. You got to bring a few more pieces. This team is not going to work just the way it is, especially offensively. You're a defensive team. Now, I don't care if you sit down and say Lou's a former MVP. He is. He had more weapons on grind time. Mm-hmm. So I'm picking up the phone and I'm talking to Lou, or I'm picking up the phone and I have Shy talking to them. What are we going to bring? What are we going to move? I'm willing for you to bring 2 or 3 more guys in. Spaz can't block. Got to be on the field. Mm-hmm. This defense is good, but they were playing one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah.
So this is going to happen. But because they're in that Eastern Conference, they still have an opportunity to win, not only the win the division, because I still give them an opportunity to get out that wild card spot. Because now I believe they're tied with Don't Sleep at 1-3. Mm-hmm. So you got to figure it out. On the other side, PME is the best team in this league. But we've seen this. We've seen this story before.
Yes, seen this multiple times. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what you do in the regular season, but if you can win the first place and get a bye in the first round and then play one of the lower teams in that division, then you have a shot. Now, I don't know who it's going to be because I don't want to play LES in the first round. I don't want to play DG in the first round. I mean, after a wild card. So it don't matter on that side, but the first round bye is a must. Again, all the weapons they have, scoring 24 points, scoring 2 touchdowns with a run back is great. But it don't matter if you can't get out the first round. Nobody cares. Mm-hmm. But again, you can't lie. Doughboy's up there for captain of the year because he's been a great captain, owner, however you want to say it. He's been the best as far as putting the pieces together. This is the only remaining undefeated team in PME.
And I just got to say real quick, this is one game where Lou just stunk it up in this game. Every now and then you have a quarterback that just has a bad game. This was Lou's bad game. Can they afford any more bad games like this? No. So hopefully him bringing Ant in. I don't know if they're going to bring Jigga in or whatever. They still have a decent defense overall, but this is a game where they just played bad. They came out flat in this game. And they can't afford to come out flat again. They have to show that they should be taken seriously. You know, they have a lot of playmakers on both sides of the field. So I believe, I'm not one to say, oh, well, they don't have enough. They need a lot of help and all of that. I'm not ready to say that. I get what you're saying. And they could use the help, but I don't think that they desperately need the help. I think they have guys that can make it happen. They just got to figure out how to consistently make it happen. And that's on them to figure out what strategy they got to pick or to use. That's on them, you know. But they can't afford to move this way with questions about how they're going to move forward or whatever. They got to be consistent moving forward. If not, they're going to have a long 4 games and they're going to be one and done. So hopefully they can avoid that by fixing their mistakes.
All right, we're going to wrap this one up with PME beating Street Fam 24-0. Now, before we wrap this one up, we're going to go to Ghost Picks. Ghost, right now you are 12-3. 12-3 with your picks. Let's go. Next one. You're going to have Don't Sleep versus Street Fam. What you got?
I have Don't Sleep beating Street Fam 19-13. I have Mick has been hot. Mick has been hot this season. And I think the loss that Street Fam suffered in this game is going to fall into the next game. and their defense is not necessarily going to be able to hold Mick and his offense. And I think that they're just going to edge away with a touchdown win.
LES versus UTF.
LES versus UTF. Unfortunately, I see this as a game where UTF comes back strong. They have a lot more to play for in this game. Obviously, in the beginning of the season, they had heavy hearts with losing, a lot of the guys losing Nelson. Now they have another thing to motivate them by playing for Nunu, who they lost in the last game. So they have a lot to play for this season moving into this game. And I think that that's going to be overwhelming. The way that they're focused on this game is going to be too overwhelming for LES. And I think that they're going to edge them out with a win 21-20. It's going to be a close game because I don't see this LES team's offense slowing down no time soon, but I don't think that's going to be enough to get them to win.
DG versus Primetime.
I think that this, surprisingly enough, is going to be a Primetime win. This Primetime team is hot, and I think that they're going to surprise this DG team with their defense. Their defense been playing pathetic, but I think that they're going to have one good game on defense, and I think that this is going to be it. So I think that they're going to be able to make enough stops. Not to say that they're going to be dominant, but they're going to be able to make enough stops to get them the 21-14 win.
Even though Chuck is 2 touchdowns away from throwing 150 touchdowns in his career in UFL, you don't think that DG is going to be motivated to not only get him that huge accomplishment, but to add it on with a win?
Listen, the huge accomplishment does not affect the game at all. That's affecting Chuck's career stats, but it's still not going to be enough to win the game. Like I said, you said 2 touchdowns, right?
Yep.
I said they're going to score 2 touchdowns. So they're going to get it done, but it's still not going to be enough to get the win. That's what I'm saying. I think that this Primetime team is going to catch this DG team off guard, and they're going to sneak away with a win with a touchdown.
And you think Lil be a part of that? Remember, Lil trying to break Ryan's record.
Without a doubt.
Touchdowns, he has 8.
Listen, without a doubt, I see Leo getting at least 2 touchdowns because he hasn't been stopped at all this whole season. Since game 2, it's been the Leo show, and nobody's been able to stop it. It's been on schedule. It's been consistent. It's been always entertaining, and I don't see that show getting canceled anytime soon.
So what's the score you gave me?
I guess I gave you 21-14.
PME versus Untouchables.
PME versus Untouchables, I think this is one game where Corey's going to have a bad game. Not to say he's going to have a terrible game, but he's not going to be as efficient as he normally is. I think that he's going to be able to score 2 touchdowns and then struggle the rest of the way. I think that PME is going to step up their defense and really give Corey a hard time. And I believe that it's going to be a 2 touchdown win for PME. I think it's going to be a 27-13 win for PME. I think that their team is just going to be too overwhelming for this Untouchables team that still has a struggling defense.
Monarchs versus Rep City. Remember, Damo's out indefinitely. They won't have him for the rest of the year. So what do you expect from that game coming from them after that big situation that they just went through?
I think that they're going to have to make some adjustments because pressuring the quarterback is key in this league as well for your defense. And losing someone like Damo is huge. I think that Damo was one of the main catalysts of their defense. So a lot of teams are not going to be as fearful of them because they're going to have more time knowing that Damo's not going to be the one coming in rushing the quarterback. So I think that they're going to have a game on their hands, but I see
remember,
yeah,
Rep City ended Ramsey's career with UTF.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, the last pass he threw for UTF and UFL was the interception in the playoff game versus Rep City. And then they went out, they drafted Corey, you know the future.
Now, I'm going to say this. Regardless of all of that is cool. But one thing I'm still questioning, it's going to take a miracle for Tommy to get to play better than he has. I think that he's still going to struggle. This is going to be another game where he struggles. It's not all his fault, but he's going to struggle yet again. And I think he's only going to be able to score one touchdown yet again. And I think that this Monarchs team, if they have all their guys coming, because remember, they didn't have Alex the last game. They didn't have Santana. They didn't have Matrix. They didn't have a lot of their guys in this game. They didn't have Benny. So that's 4 of their main playmakers that they didn't have. If they all come, or at least half of them come to the next game, I think that they're going to have at least a 2-touchdown win. And I would say there would be a 22-7 win for this Monarchs team. At least. It could be more, but that's the score that I see so far.
All right, we're going to wrap it up. Ghost is 12-3 with his picks. Been a good season. Now we're in week 5, almost there. Almost there. We have to see what happens. All right, fellas, we're going to wrap this up. On behalf of Real Tough Talk, Stephen J, Ghost. We're going to see our guys next week as we start preparing for our award winners, like basically the nominees, who we think are the MVP so far. All that good stuff will be coming next week. So we're going to wrap it up. We thank y'all guys for joining us on an episode of Real Tough Talk. We see you guys next week. Stay blessed. We out.